Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Nigerians at home and abroad. My apology for starting 2 seconds behind time. I sincerely apologize for that. I should have been on air at exactly 6 o'clock. But again, it's a result of technical error. One of these days, I'll get it right. As you can see, today's topic for discussion is do not judge a book. Don't judge a book by its cover. So, which most of us, I believe most of us know this phrase, not to judge a book by its cover, both literally and figuratively, for us not to judge anything until we get to know what that thing is. Now, the judgment there, as we know, is in respect to coming to a conclusion on someone. Before we reach that stage, we need to know the person very well. Now, in the context of Nigeria, that is where this topic is focused on. As we approach the 2023 general elections, I've said this before and I'm going to repeat again that the overriding objective is to act fairly and justly to all candidates. Now, as you know, we have more than three political parties in the present Nigerian issue right now. However, there are three main candidates who have taken the headlight of news and social media. And that being said, I would like to recognize and acknowledge all presidential candidates, known and unknown. I acknowledge you and always will on this program. But at the moment, we have a three-horse race in front of us, which is in the person of Atiku, Peter Obi, and Atiku, Peter Obi, and Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. These three individuals highlighted on the screen are the three persons we are focusing on at the moment until another candidate come into the race or shows their weight, then we will also bring them into the equation. But right now, they are not in the equation. So I'm going to take their names off again because I'll bring it back later on again. Now, the phrase or the figure of speech, don't judge a book by its cover. If we're going to twist that statement or redefine it or look at the other side of its definition, it means since I cannot judge a book by its cover, that means I can judge a book after I must have read it. Now, this aspect of judgment or judging is not to condemn anyone. Let's have that on the record. Because we don't have the power to condemn anyone, regardless. And even if a criminal goes to court, it always says that he's innocent until proven guilty. And when the judge passes his sentence, it is believed that the person has done something wrong. But you and I have no power to do that. But the power we have is to exercise judgment based on what we have read and seen. Not just saying, interact with. So therefore, in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in the person of Peter Obi, in the person of Atiku Abubakar, these are not just books. These are books that we have read, meaning we know these people. So when we make our judgment, we are not making our judgment in blindness or in isolation. No. We are making our judgment on the fact that we know these individuals. And because we know these individuals, we make that judgment. We arrive at the judgment. As you can see on the screen, it gives us the definition of what? Impeachment, or to impeach, specifically to charge a public official before a competent tribunal or court with misconduct in office. Now, Section 143 speaks about the president and the vice president, which is also applicable to any government officials, governors, and the vice governor, if there's anything of such. The fifth schedule is the code of conduct, and the seventh schedule is the what? Is the oath of allegiance of president, vice president, governors, any public officials. Oath of allegiance. Now, I focus on the literal book. Literal book as a book. Recently, I was in a discussion when someone interjected me, as one of my fellow panelists interjected me. When I object to people who come on the platform to say the Nigerian Constitution is rubbish, should be done away with. Okay, fair enough that they are entitled to say or to hear their views. So I asked this individual a question, and I said, listen, have you read the Constitution itself, back to back? His response, quote and unquote, I can never read it. Now, I was taken aback. I did not respond further. I just told him, you know what? This is my time. Let me use my time. When it comes to your time, you can weigh in into whatever you want to say. That's fair enough. Now, how can someone condemn a literal book, a constitution, when he or she have not read it? This individual have not read the book, and yet you are condemning the book. It beats my imagination. I became worried. This is a diehard fan of Peter Obi who said he cannot read the Constitution, and yet you come out to condemn. Now, according to Peter Obi, he was impeached. He was impeached. From what you've seen on the screen, he said, I was impeached, removed from office twice because I repaired the governor office for 43.2 million as against 298 million, and the government lodge for 81 million as against 486 million. Now, if this man was impeached on this ground, and he argued his case either at the tribunal or the House of Senate of Anambra State or wherever he went to argue his case, the question before this person that said he cannot read the Constitution is, which book did he think he, Peter Obi, or his legal representative used to argue their case, and he won at the end of the day, and he was reinstated back as the governor? Is it the Afghanistan Constitution or the Libyan Constitution? Is it the law of a different country, of another country, or the present law in Nigeria. Now, it's crazy as to imagine how people say things and do things when they come on air to say certain things. But I let it fly because at the end of the day, people will say what they have to say. They will say what they have to say without giving consideration that what they said is what is already on record and reference can be made to it in the future. Now, back to the issue of what? Of the constitution, of the open book, that we must not judge anyone until we get to know the person. This is applicable in every situation. However, in this case, we are talking about three individuals who, in the person of Atiku, we are talking about these three individuals. Peter Obi versus Bola Ahmed Tinubu versus Atiku Abubakar. These are the three individuals that are before us. Like I said, there are other presidential candidates that are already acknowledged. Unfortunately, they are not in the mainstream race. So, Peter Obi, Bola Tinubu Ahmed, and Atiku are no strangers in the Nigerian people and politics. So, their books, which is their life, is rightly displayed before us. As such, we cannot shy away from saying the kind of person they are. Now, neither of them are saints, but we need to put everyone on a scale of balance. The same way Peter Obi was accused, the same way Bola Ahmed was also accused. Everyone has been accused in one form or the other, allegedly, over certain issues. Peter Obi, it was alleged that he invested the state's money in his family company, which he never denied. However, do we consider that as embezzlement? Atiku, when he was a vice president, has the autonomy to control oil and gas sector in the oil region. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his vice president and everything that is happening around in respect to his certificates. These are open books before us. But I'll focus on Peter Obi first. Because why? He is the man of the people at the moment. Now, he did state that he was impeached twice for the following reasons. Now, let's look at this reason very well. And like I said in my previous broadcasting, no one is as blind as the person who refuse to see. Now, if a man says he was impeached for saving the state money, then we need to ask ourselves a very good question, because at the moment in the country, there is no accountability. There is no transparency. Last week, like I said, someone on this show said I should allow people to make an informed decision. That is fair enough. And I did say it's in the context of Nigeria, present Nigeria. I would like to welcome everyone on the platform. I will open the floor soon. I just want to lay the foundation for those of you just joining, or for any one of you that just joined. The topic is don't judge a book by its cover. It's both literally and figuratively, figure of speech. Literally in the sense that before you judge any book, maths book, English book, whatever book, read it first. Then you make your determination. Figuratively, before you make a conclusion on someone, get to know the person first. And the persons before us is Peter Obi, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Atiku. And I did state that these ones are not just a cover. They are open book before us because they've been in the political field for a very long time. So we can read them. We've already read them anyway. But why we still dance in between who to vote for, or Nigerians dance who to vote for or who not to vote for, that is the aspect that is actually confusing to me. And I will say this, that us Nigerians at home and abroad, we cannot afford to go lower than where we are right now. Because if we allow ourselves to go low than where we are right now, it is a disaster. Trust me on that. Probably Iraq or Afghanistan will be better than Nigeria. And that's just the truth. You may not believe it, but trust me when I say that is the truth. Now, these people are before us. Open book. If Peter Obi was impeached twice in this regard, and he went to court to fight his case, why couldn't we vote for him? Why can't Nigerians vote for him? Now, I will keep on with this message as long as I can. Because why? The definition for impeachment is to charge a public official before a competent tribunal with misconduct in office, section 143, which refers to the governor and the president and the vice president applicable to the governors and any official. The 5th schedule is the code of conduct, and the 7th schedule is the oath of allegiance. So when they take that oath, they promise to what? To be transparent and give account for everything they have done. Now, in this regard, I am going to yield the floor to Ovie to weigh into this matter first before I say the other things in my mind in respect to the topic. Don't judge a book by its cover. The book in this question, the question is the 3 presidential candidates. Others are there, but they are not in the limelight. I've acknowledged them. Is the person of Peter Obi, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Atiku that have been walked the corridors of power, that are open books to Nigerians. Why do you think it's now becoming, it's more or less like a problem for Nigerians to make up their mind, despite having to have read these books over time? Why do you think, or what do you think is the problem? Now, beside those selling their vote for money, let's put that aside first. But why do you think? Because if you sell your vote, if you sell your vote to me, that means I am corrupt. You equally that sells your vote, you are corrupt too. Let's put that aside. Why do you think it's so difficult for Nigerians? Well, we've lost Ovie too as well too. That is network issue in Nigeria. We've lost 2 people. Listen, this message is for those in Nigeria, and I appreciate those in diaspora that will want to come into this matter. And but unfortunately, the Nigerians need this message more. But unfortunately, they cannot join, and it pains me so much because of NEPA issue and data issue. So it's like one is just, I don't know how to express myself in this regard. Nigerians are the one that actually has this message for them to what? to weigh into this matter. And it's sad, very sad, of which sometimes I bring this program to a close earlier than expected. So I don't know, but I will say what I have to say, and with the hope that one of these days they will get the message. This message, they will get to see it before the election, and they will make up their mind. The three people before us, we know them very well, so there's no point beating around the bush as to who is the credible, who has credibility, who is the credible candidate to sit in the highest office of the land, to direct the affairs of the country, to restore sanity back, to deal with electricity issue, deal with security, unemployment, job creation. So, because he's done it before, he's not a saint. But if we put every one of them on the scale, you will agree with me that Peter Obi actually comes out first among every one of them. So for that reason, I think we should go for this man. There's no point dragging this issue unnecessary. I know May 29th is around the corner, but we need to start to make up our mind now, so that those in the opposition can come to our side. They are our brothers and sisters. They are not our enemies. I keep saying this. They are not our enemies. They are our brothers and sisters. And going through the same pain. Unfortunately, some of them, their eyes are blind. We need to help them to take out that scale from what? From their eyes as well. You've seen the light. We need to take this light to them in humility, in love. But in some situation, like I stated earlier, if we need to pull them out of the fire by force, then we need to pull them out of the fire by force. To say, listen, brother, sister, you can't go this path. Look at this person. I'm not condemning this person, but I'm telling you, this person does not have your good at heart. It does not have the good of the nation at heart. Do you want to continue in this suffering? Like I said, I was in Nigeria in 2020 for 8 months. Besides all the time I've lived in Nigeria, I did not see electricity for 24 hours straight. Not possible. On a particular occasion, I think for a month or two, there was no electricity. So it's on and off. How long are we going to go through this? With a country that boasts of natural resources. In a country where we hear millions, billions of nairas and dollars being stolen by government officials. Bandits. How long? How long are we going to go through this? How long are we going to go through this? The books are before us. They are open books. They've been in the corridors of powers. So you can judge. You know who is who. There is no shame in not attending primary or secondary school. Circumstances beyond one's control or our parents' control could be responsible for that. And along the way, you improve yourself. But when someone cannot come out openly to say, oh, I did not go to school, but telling us that his certificate was stolen, both the presidential candidate and his vice presidential candidate are making the same claim. Mr. Atiku has never come out to deny the allegation that is a major supplier of generator in Nigeria. He has never. And when he becomes president, you think he will be concerned about the electricity? Come on, guys. We can't afford to go lower. I'm just being honest. We really cannot afford to go lower than where we are right now. Where Nigeria is right now is a ticking time bomb. This has given reason or room for people to be agitating for the country to be divided because of this issue of lack of transparency and accountability. If there is transparency and accountability, nobody will be vying forward to leave the country, that the country, or agitating that we should break the country. Even though it's not a good idea, because those that are agitating to have the country broken, they are not even transparent. They are not. It's just their selfish interest. And I say that, I've said that before and I'll say it again. They are agitating for this because of their selfish interest, because they are not transparent. So if you are agitating to have the country broken and you are not transparent, when you break up, how do you think you are going to run? Do you think it will be better than where you are coming from? No, it won't be. So we need to focus first to get the right leader into position first. And that will help us to determine where we go next. Because at this point, we're going nowhere. I admonish my fellow Nigerians, at home in particular. Those in diaspora cannot vote. We can only talk and encourage you. We can't vote. Even if we can vote, we are in the minority. We are in the minority. It is those of you on the ground that are able to vote. And when you put these three individuals on the platform, then you will understand that we cannot afford to make the same mistake again. I repeat for the record, we cannot afford to go lower than where we are today. Mr. Ovi, I'm going to yield the floor back to you. Thank you for coming online. You are now on the platform, so I'm yielding the floor to you to weigh in on the issue or on the subject and the three men that are booked to us. Are they closed book or open book? And why is it so difficult for Nigerians to make up their mind? I yield the floor back to you.
Wow. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Andrew. Happy to be here again. Um, you asked a question before I left. I don't know if that question has been turned down.
No, the question is there, and I did repeat the question now. The question is, why do you think Nigerians are dancing in between to make up their mind? Yes, a lot of people are saying P2B, but statistically, the numbers is high. But in their mind, they are still not into it. Despite us having these individuals having walked the corridors of power, they've been in positions over the years. So we are not just judging a book by its cover. The book, we've read the book, we've seen them. But Nigerians are still dabbling back and forth as to who to vote for. I yield the floor back to you.
All right. So, in my own opinion, just like you rightly said, I don't think the I would like say, let me go by rating now. Let me say those who are clamoring for the person of Peter Obi, I think they should be 70% in my own opinion from what I have seen. Let me say the 30% who are still on the fence, they are neither here or there. Or I would rather say they are not sure of the person of Peter Obi because the the way or the movement that is on, whereby we see in the individuals, first time in history, I don't know if I'm wrong, first time in history where you see people independently campaigning for a candidate that even the candidate himself does not even know them. You see people using their own money. I watched a video, I think it was yesterday or so, where I saw a northern man. He went into the where they print the handbills. He paid money and he was printing uh, uh, copies of Peter Obi and all that, even down to T-shirt and all that he was sharing, and encouraging people and telling people the reason why they need to vote for the person of Peter Obi. And I think is it in Akwa Ibom also, I saw a guy, in the streets. He's more of like doing an evangelism of the movement about the person of Peter Obi. So first time in history where you see people using their own resources, because you know the way we have known politics has always been the business of the big men, business of the political hierarchy personers. We see it as their business. So what we usually do is we vote in the person whom we feel has the capacity in terms of wealth, you know, to get into power. And also, we also vote party. We a lot of ideas were sold to us by these same politicians, and we have grown with that idea for a long time, a long time. So it has become a stronghold in the minds of individual. But this time around, we are seeing people for the first time in history telling you that this time around we are not voting party, we are voting personality. We are not voting party, we are voting personality. So if these three people that are the major people in front of us, the person of Peter Obi, the person of Ahmed Tinubu, and the person of Atiku, if these people have the integrity, if they have the pedigree to show to us, let's lay it at the front of Nigerians and let us begin to point. The thing is that this thing is very glaring to us. We can see, the people can
We've lost Ovi again, like I said. This is the Nigerian problem that we are saying. Network. And to be honest, hopefully we will have him back soon. Is a problem plaguing Nigeria, to be honest, and it's all down to what? To bad leadership. And like I said earlier, this broadcast is primarily for Nigerians on the ground, not Nigerians in diaspora. Now, Nigerians in diaspora are welcome to weigh in into this situation, but it's for the message for Nigerians in general at home, because we are in diaspora, we cannot vote. But we must not be under the illusion that whatever happens in Nigeria does not affect us. That is that is a lie from the pit of hell. Anything that happens in Nigeria affect those of us in diaspora. Even if you've taken your immediate family, all your immediate family out of Nigeria. How about your extended families? They are still there, and they will cry unto you every time. The situation is that even an ordinary Nigerian cannot stay on the phone, on the internet for long, because they'll be checking their data and thinking, looking at the percentage on their phone and say, listen, my battery is now 20%. I don't know when electricity will come that I will charge this battery again. It's unfortunate for a country that boasts of, I don't know how many natural resources we boast of. Even the sun, God has given us the sun for us to use to develop our tourism section, but we allow it to go to waste. The sun, we can use it to even do a very nice solar system. We're wasting it. We flare gas, and yet gas is so expensive in present day Nigeria. Well, we have Ovie back. Ovie, I'll yield the floor back to you. I'm sorry, I can understand the situation in Nigeria, the network
Yes.
and otherwise.
Yes. This is the reason why we are doing all we can to get to a better society. So so like I was saying, so like I was saying, you know, the mindset that have been sold to us is that the common man in the street cannot become uh the Nigeria president, because for you to become, no, the other day I was telling you about is it Dele Mahmood or so. I was telling you about how he was breaking down how much you require for you to be able to win a presidential election in Nigeria. He was breaking it down, and it was all billions, 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 billions. And they began to see, you know, I just recently came to discover that when they are talking about Peter Obi, whether he has the structure or whatever, these are the things they are saying. They are not using the language of structure just to confuse the masses. The things they are actually telling you is, does he have the money? How much has he stolen? How much has he stolen? So, so like I was saying, we have before us three persons: the person of Peter Obi, the person of Tinubu and Atiku. And now what Nigerians, the majority of Nigerians are saying now is that now is no longer time of whether Atiku represent PDP or what do you call him, Tinubu represent APC. Now we are talking about personality, and this is how it should have been done for long. People are resurrecting from this idea that without money you cannot become Nigeria president. We are resurrecting from the idea that Nigeria politics is business game, is money bag game. People are resurrecting from these ideas of, you know, party or whatever you call it, the party that was once there, that came with two candlelight, and the party that came with broom. Now we are talking about human personality, integrity. What do you have to show? If I want to employ a doctor, a medical doctor, into a health organization or so, I will want to weigh his his certificate. I will want to weigh how much experience he has. You know, I want to check, you know, to be sure that in me employing him, I'm confident that the job that is being employed to do, he is competent enough to do it. He is most qualified for it. In fact, the seat of the presidency, we have joked with it for so many years. We have toyed with it for so many years. Just like we have said in previous broadcasts, when we're talking about the issue of selling votes, do you think that if Nigeria really understood the effects of what they have been doing over the years, do you think a normal
Well, we've lost Ovie again. Nigeria, we held it. Ovie, when you come back, you continue. What Ovie was trying to say is, if those of us in the past understood the implication of selling our vote. The thing is that we don't understand the implication. Even I myself came to that realization recently, and that is the implication of selling our vote constitute as a what? A betrayal of the innocent blood. Betrayal of constitute, that is what is reflected on this. Selling our vote or refusing to vote constitute the betrayal of what? Of innocent blood. Now, the innocent blood are those who are not eligible to vote from the age of 0 to 17, and those unborns who put their trust in us to do right by them. Because why? These ones cannot vote. And when we sell our vote, whatever decision those leaders make will definitely have impact on them. And that is what we are suffering today, because we do not realize the implication of what? Of selling our vote in time past. And I did said on a channel I feature, particularly to those of us, to those in diaspora, that when we are talking to people back at home regarding the situation, we must understand that some of us in time past find ourselves in the so-called promised land in Western world. We've also sold our vote, so we are part of the problem. Until we recognize that we are part of the problem, anything we say or blaming people on the ground is going to be thrown back at our face. So I don't know if Ovie is back online. Ovie, can you confirm if you are back online so that I can yield the floor back to
yes,
you?
yes, yes. I'm back. I'm back. So so because Nigerians have not really sat down to weigh into all these matters, and that is the reason why I I I just uh I so much desire that this message, goes down to the least person in our country, so that we all really understand the reason why we need to consider this election as an opportunity that God has given to us to put things right. I don't believe in whatever stories that are being told about in the election. They will ring this, they will do that, they will do this and all that. I don't believe in all that. I believe that we are we have the opportunity to make our decisions, and we have opportunity to also protect our decisions this time around. Because what usually happens, why you see that they are able to ring most elections that have come and gone, is because, for my own observation, is because we have always seen it as their business. It's their business. We know how much they spend to get the seat. So we have always seen it as just like we regard every other business people do with money, and it's more of like you invest and you get profit, you invest and you get profit. So we saw, like, in fact, a child in school some time ago, when I was interviewing some children. I asked, what do you want to become? Say, sir, I want to become a politician. I was a bit like shocked, like, why do you want to become a politician? I wanted to know why. I already had a thought that probably this is the reason why, but I just wanted to be sure that what this child is saying he understand. So I said, why do you want to become a politician? Why not a medical doctor? Why not a lawyer? Why not this? Why not that? He said that he wants to become a politician because politics, there is more money in politics than you becoming a medical doctor. If I become a senator now, I will have more money than doctors. So I was not like, if this side at this age is already thinking like this, and I'm very sure that the child must have seen things for himself to have made him conclude that becoming a politician is the most lucrative business one can ever think of going into. So that tells you how strong and how deep this idea that have been sold to Nigerians over the years have gone deep into the mind and down to children. You can imagine. So if this child grows up to become, somebody, he is ready. Probably he might not know that in all this it involves you killing as well. The child will come to that extent and says, oh, I still have to kill. Then, to blend everything out, he will also do the same. So it's a mindset that has been sold to us over the years. That is the reason why it is so strong. It is a stronghold in their mind. And there is nothing except God and using people like us now, speaking to ourselves, telling ourselves that, come, we have to wake up. See, I want to use this medium to talk to as many as have not woken up. Wake up! Wake up! Open your eyes. This is glaring. If you have water and acid placed in front of you and you are told this glass is a cup of acid, this is a cup of water, I'm very sure if you are told to choose which to drink, no matter how hungry you are, no matter how attractive the acid looks, you will go for the water. You will go for the water. So today I make this clear to you that Peter Obi is the water before us, and every other persons that we have known that have not, that don't have the quality, that don't have the integrity to show to the Nigerian people. They are the acid that we have. Because why I will make that statement is because we know what acid does to the body. It's the same way bad government does to the society, does to every Nigerian. If I remember a lady that died in an hospital, when I went to the hospital, when we were trying to see what was the reason, why did this lady have to die? This lady was not supposed to die. We discovered that it was as a result of poor facilities that led to the death of this woman. So you can imagine. And there's a sitting governor of that state. He ought to be responsible for those facilities. He ought to be responsible for doing the needful. That is the essence of electing a government. You elect a government for performance, not to destroy. So if we, the Nigerian people, have sat down and think, the government, the past and the present government that we have had, has it really yielded to a good government? If the past government was doing well, why did so many people came out and said, okay, let's vote them out, let's vote a new government in? Because we are yielding, we are clamoring for a good government, and yet we have another government again. And see here, this is even the worst of all. Killings everywhere and nothing is done. And you are here sitting down and you want to tell me that you have to sit down and to think again. To think. What do you want to think about? What do you want to think about? That the killings is good? That the kidnapping every day is good? Is that what you want to think about? We have before us a hope. A hope. It was more like our eyes have been blinded over the years, that we have never noticed this guy. We have never noticed him. Look at his pedigrees. Look at his integrity. They are trying to bring the issue of his impeachment. Let them come out and explain to us if just that somebody is impeached, is enough to crucify the person. Let's go down to why he was impeached.
Okay,
Let's wait.
hello, Ovie, stay there. This is the reason why he was impeached. I have it on the screen. He said, I was impeached, removed from office twice because I repaired the governor office for 43.2 million as against 298 million, and the government lodge for 81 million as against 486 million. I've not come across those who are saying he was impeached twice that are not giving reasons. If a man was impeached for this reason, those who impeach him are the criminals, are the ones that should be named and shamed and possibly prosecuted. That is the reason displayed on the screen as why Peter Obi was impeached. I yield the floor back to you.
Yes, this is what we are saying. I remember, I think it was was it 8 years ago? That was 2016 or so. Was it 2016 or 2006? I can't remember particularly. You see, a paper was reporting that the reason why Peter Obi was impeached, it was because of his integrity. Is that not a good name? Is that not a good name? Like, is it not a good thing? Like, if somebody is like accusing you of being good, I mean, that is
That
even
is what. Sorry for interjecting again. That is what I don't understand about us Nigerians. That somebody is being displayed as good, not just displayed, have that reference point as a good leader, and have proven we need somebody who will save the country money, not somebody who is going to steal our money. Atiku was quoted on record that when he gets to power, he's going to enrich his friends. I mean, that is a crazy thing. Is that someone we want to put vote for? Now the question now is, you are agreeing that based on the subject, on the title, don't judge a book by its cover, that whatever views, opinions, or facts people are given in respect to these three presidential candidates, they are not judging them because they've not read the book. They are actually judging them not in condemnation, but reach a conclusion. They are actually judging them based on what they already know about them. Would that be correct, sir?
sorry, can you come again?
The title is Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover. This meaning, literally, read the book first before you can say, oh, this book is good or is not book.
Yes,
Figuratively,
yes.
figure of speech is you got to have to know somebody first before you can reach a conclusion on that person. Now the question is, these three individuals, let me look for their name again for the purpose of those who will watch later on. Come on, where are this? Okay, I found it. These three individuals that their names are displayed on the screen: Peter Obi, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Atiku Abubakar. They are open books unto us, and people coming to conclusion on them, they have every right to do that because they are not closed book, they are open book to us. Would that be correct?
Yes, yes, it is correct because everybody have his or opinion, and everybody have the freedom of expression as well. But what I want to say is just like the title of the title before us is, you know, you actually need to, read the contents before coming to a conclusion to say, okay, I've read and I know what is inside. So it's not just going to be, looking at the cover and coming to a conclusion. Because when you look at the cover of a book and you just come into a conclusion about what the book is, it's, there's every tendency that you might uh be having a wrong impression of what you feel by the title. So so this is even a very is a very good thing before us. Now we have to now go into into the book history about these three people that are before us. We have to go into their histories. And Nigerians have known, or let me not say Nigeria, most Nigerians knows the histories of this Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar even the more. Because why I said this is this: I feel that many Nigerians are just seeing who Peter Obi is really. They don't really know much about him. You know, being a governor of a state, there's every possibility that someone in another state or a citizen of Nigeria in another state might not really know much about uh Peter Obi. But the person of Atiku having appeared in the government office as the vice president to Obasanjo, you know, his stories are everywhere. And even the very man he worked with, his former boss, the Obasanjo, is somebody who have even written a book concerning him. So that book is out there for many people to verify. In fact, there are videos out there for many people as well to verify about what his former boss said about him. So these are
Let
so.
me allow me to interject on this point you just raised. I watched a video, and I think 4 years ago when Atiku was challenged on this was brought before his attention, and somebody read it, and the moderator said, "Mr. Atiku, you are not denying what Obasanjo said," and he said, "Yes, he's not denying it." And that was really a shocking moment for a lot of people that really. So, what Obasanjo was saying, that you are a two-faced human being, you are after money, you want to enrich yourself, you are his vice president, this and that, were true. And he didn't deny it. He said, well, since Obasanjo said it, he also has given me his blessing for me to go ahead. I just said I should jump into that to let people know that Atiku did not deny, even though he was asked that, are you denying this thing that Obasanjo said? And he did not deny them at all on a live broadcast. I yield the floor back to you. My sincere apology for interjecting.
Yes, yes, yes. He will not be able to deny it because they are fat. He knows that they are fat. Oh, and the fat are all just everywhere. He knows, so he will not be able to deny it. The thing is that, does it not baffle you that somebody can, you know, something bad can be said about him that he is not denying, that he's saying, yes, this is true. Just like saying you are a criminal and you are coming out before the public and saying, yes, I'm a criminal. It's a fact. I'm not denying it. I actually did it. Now, sorry. Now, this same man who did not deny these facts is now coming and standing before the Nigerian people that I am a man of competence. I am a man of integrity. In fact, I am a unifier. Like as he rightly been described by his party, that the reason why the reason why Nigeria should vote for him is because the man is a unifier. That Nigeria needs somebody to unite the to unite the north, the south, the west, and the east. That Nigeria has never been so divided as this present administration, and as if we don't know what is happening. So does it not baffle Nigerians that somebody we have had description of who he is as a thief, as a criminal, standing before us and telling us to give him our vote. Does it not baffle? Does it not baffle Nigerians? Like, I mean, does it not baffle you that you see people talking about, you know, the reason why they should still need to vote for him is as a result of all these ideas that have been sold to their mind. But I must tell you that right now, I am so much encouraged with the momentum that this movement is going. The manner at which people are coming out with so much love, with so much passion, just like in the US, where you see somebody coming out telling you that he's proud to be an American, that he's a patriot. See, what I am seeing before us now, I'm seeing many patriot Nigerians arising, and I'm so much overwhelmed. I'm so much encouraged, and I believe, and I want to encourage every other Nigerians to join the movement. They need to join the movement. I love the saying where people say that we are not voting for a political party, we are voting for personality. I love that statement. It's such a powerful statement that, you know, Nigerians need to sit down and look. Sometimes when you are not calm to meditate, you just get things amiss. You just get things, things will not be so clear to you. I will encourage Nigerians to sit down and weigh this guy. We have three people before us. Like you rightly said, there are more than three, but these are the major people that are, before the public. We have our will and decisions to put things right. And we cannot be seeing a green light and decide to choose a red light again. This is 2023 election before us today. We have to sit down and put it right. Like we're talking about his impeachment. He was impeached for integrity, and it's a good thing. And this is a plus plus for us. It's a plus plus for us because now if you say somebody was impeached, another thing I want to say again, when you are bringing this notion of that he was impeached, the mindset is anybody that is impeached is somebody that is not, he probably has done certain things that he shouldn't do. He probably must have, done something that is against the constitution. But you see, he was impeached and he came out, he was able to clarify himself, and he went back to his office. The reason he was impeached, just like you rightly displayed on the screen, tells Nigeria that this man is worth our vote 10 million times. You see somebody coming to cut costs, and they are impeaching him. For what reason? For what reason? For integrity. This is a plus plus for us. Like I rightfully said just now, it's a plus plus because he was impeached for his integrity. And this integrity is what we need. Something that so much made me to so much believe him when he said that he's not desperate to become Nigerian president. I want to respond to Reno Omokri when he was saying that the guy is desperate because he knew that he was not going to come up in the PDP, was the reason why he set back to decamp to the Labour Party. If you go and check Shiner's interview 8 years ago when he was interviewed, when he newly became an ex-governor of Anambra State, he was asked that usually as politicians, you are no longer a city governor. Now, what is your plan for Nigeria, for politics now, from now henceforth? No, they were more like, just like some of your colleagues when they come out of governor seat, they pursue for the House of Senate or House of Rep, or they pursue for other higher positions. What is your plan? He said that he's not interested in such, but that at any level that he will be able to serve the Nigerian people, that he is willing to do it. In fact, when he was first asked the question, he said that he would prefer to go and serve as a chairman, as a councillor. You know, that tells you a lot about this guy. That what drives him is service. Is service. And that is what we should demand from from any politician that is coming out to even campaign. In fact, in the first place, before you are elected into any political office, you must have had record, you must have had things to show, proof to show to the Nigerian people that if you are elected into any office, you are going to do well. You have done it before. So these people that we have before us, the person of Peter Obi, the person of Tinubu, the person of Atiku Abubakar, let's look back to their history, and that their history to judge for us who we should choose, who we should vote, who is worth our vote. For me and so many other people I know, my vote worth a man of integrity. My vote worth a man that is competent. My vote worth for a man that is sincere enough. My vote worth for a man that has a heart of service. And Peter Obi is that very man. His history is speaking, and he is still speaking to this very day. So Nigerians you don't have a reason why you say, okay, I don't know the reason why I should vote for this guy. I feel he's not, my friend, he has enough to convince you to give him your vote. I yield the floor back to you.
Alvia, I would like to thank you. I'd like to thank your participation and your points, which are with your views, which are really on point. You mentioned Reno Mokri. In respect to Reno Mokri is a two-faced human being, so I really will not want to bother myself about him, because a few years ago he praised Peter Obi. Recently, he's condemning Peter Obi again. He's looking for position anyway. I wouldn't bother myself about Reno Mokri, I have to be honest with you. I have challenged him in writing in the past when I started this channel, and he never gets back to me. Well, he has no reason to, because he knows he's as guilty as charged. So I don't deal with, I don't bother myself on those people. In respect to Atiku, even the allegation, it was not, anybody can be a criminal. But what the case of Atiku is that there was no remorse, no repentance. It was even kind of proud of it, or braggadocious that, so what? That gives a concern. It reminds one of those two thieves by Jesus Christ when they were telling him that you save others, save yourself. And one said, listen, we are here for the crime we committed, but this man is innocent. There's no remorse in Atiku, to be honest. And the case of Bola Tinubu, I mean, it's very scary considering, I mean, both of them are in their 70s, both Bola Tinubu and Atiku, I believe. They are in their 70s, and as such, I don't know what. I mean, what's his name? The president of United States is in his 70s, but people still have concern for him. But because there are checks and balances there, they are able to help him to steer the ship. So things are not that bad. But in the context of Nigeria, like you rightly said, and I agree that though the statement said don't judge a book by its cover, which is true, but these individuals right now before us on the screen, that their names are displayed on the screen, they are already open books. We've read them, we know them. So Nigerians can make an informed decision, even without needing anyone to convince them. Unfortunately, we have to keep doing this over and over again and see how far we can go. And I believe because there is no selfish motive behind this, and people will not be here right now, but they will stumble into these videos, they will listen, and I still strongly believe Nigerians will come on this platform. I pray, if by God's grace, that God should perform a miracle where the light will be stable and the data will be also. There are a lot of people actually who really have told me they love to come up from Nigeria, but they cannot, to be honest. They cannot. I have to be honest with you, they cannot. So that's why I really thank you a lot for the time, the money you spent on. I know how much it costs to buy data in Nigeria, and I know God will reward you. And we've spoken privately, so I'm not going to discuss what we've spoken in private, in public. And we will steer the ship forward. Once again, as before I bring the broadcast to an end, next week Friday and Sunday will be an interesting topic, and I believe people will come. Trust me, there'll be very interesting topic. And before I bring the broadcast to an end, I will give you yield the floor to you to summarize, or to, if you have any last word to say. I yield the floor back to you. Thank you.
Hmm. By God's grace, I believe that the more we are spreading uh, the information, I believe that God, because I know very well that or I would rather say I'm very convinced that God is behind all that is currently happening. You can't imagine a pregnant woman coming out for 1 million march. I think that was in Abuja or Lagos or so. That tells you how desperate people want the system to change. You see, even somebody going with his own resources, sharing handbills, campaigning all over everywhere. It tells you how much sacrifice people are ready to give in to get the country back. You know, I know that people of such like Reno Omokri and some others, they believe so strongly that the system will always remain the way it is. So that is the reason why I believe that they could be playing their ball in a way that they don't get trapped. So, but I want to assure Nigerians that God is behind everything that is going on, and that is the reason why you can see that He's stirring this hunger, He's stirring it in the hearts of people, and whatever you see them doing, it can only be God. There have not really been an election where you see the amount of people coming out with their own resources. That tells you that they see it is now time to take this country back. As I'm talking to you, there are many groups that are over everywhere working tirelessly to ensure that we get Nigeria back. Because so many people, like in our age, we are actually saying that what our parents didn't do for us, if we should do the same, if we should act in the same manner as our parents, we are definitely going to suffer even worse. I mean, our children are going to suffer even worse than we are right now. So the people that you are seeing all over the internet and even off the internet going about, like this guy told you, doing evangelism of, you know, spreading the good news about Peter Obi. Let me tell you, it might look somehow to people, but I must be sincere with you that God is, doing everything, because people keep praying over the years that God come and help us, God come and help us. I always ask people that, is it that God does not want to? The God I serve, the God I know, is not a cruel God. In fact, He made a statement that if your father, when you ask him for a bread, he gives you a bread, he does not give you a stone. He said, how much more me, your heavenly Father, will I give you a stone when you ask of a bread for me? That clearly tells you that God is not who, you know, the situation and the circumstance tries to make him look like. It's not what we think. God has been looking for people to use to restore this nation. God has been looking for a woman, a man of age who will say, I will not sell my vote. He has been looking for the people to use. But thank God we are beginning to see the amount of people that are coming out to say, Father, I'm here. God, I'm here. Even though they are not saying it like, oh, God, I'm here. But by their actions, we are saying they are actually making themselves available to say, yes, I'm ready to change the narrative. And I see on daily basis that the number is growing so far and it's growing so fast. I mean to say, it's growing so fast. And I tell you that before this year runs out, you will no longer even hear people talking about Atiku or whatever. If you won't hear, it will be a drop of water in an ocean, because that ocean would have been the high numbers of the populace of Nigerian people who love Nigeria, who understand the deceit that have been the reason why we are where we have been. And their eyes have been opened and they are ready to turn the story, to change the story. So for me, I want to be among the people. I don't know about you that is listening. For me, I want to be among the people that history will record that I was among those who joined in turning the situation of the country around, in changing the narrative of the country. I don't want to be among those that are just complaining or doubting the possibility of this whole idea coming to a reality. I mean to say. So in conclusion, I want to say that everyone should sit down and think again. There is something you can do. Like I said, that we are just, I think, about theory here. But you know that if we want to spread this information far to, you know, populations, we can do it. We can do it. And the way we can do it is by putting in everything we can. Sit down and think there must be an idea. I must have not had the idea, but probably you have not sat down to think. But when you sit down to think, the idea will come because God is involved and God will bring the idea. Thank you.
Thank you. In respect to ideas or bringing people, spreading this word up, having people to come on this platform, that will take time. It takes patience, also from our side. But let me recent. I think yesterday or 2 days ago. I think yesterday and today. Most of my inspiration always come when I'm in the bathroom, when I'm showering, and I think, you see, people once likes to identify with success or those who are already successful. They prefer to be on a channel where they have the crowds and everything. Now, I can understand that, but that should not discourage any of us, particularly myself. And because I take Peter Obi as an example. He said when he was a governor of Anambra State, he didn't become a governor on the platform of PDP or APP. I think it was Afghan. It's a party that was not known, that doesn't even have any representative in the Senate or this and that. And he left PDP that is known to be a structured or a big party, to Labour that nobody cares about it. Human being generally wants to identify with people or an establishment that is already successful. They wouldn't want to establish that what it is, but with time. So we'll take you from Peter Obi that it is not about that big this thing. It's about that individual, because he is already a successful person. I am a successful person. You're a successful person. Yes, it can be a little bit discouraging, but trust me, I will give it time. It's give it time, because I didn't start this channel today. I mean, I started it, I think, 2016, if I am correct. I've put on videos that are 5 years ago on this channel, and I didn't know that it was going to be this useful for me again in this context of Nigeria and other things. So people will come. I'm not in doubt of that. But like I said, and I'm gonna repeat again, and I want you to take me on this. If I negate on it or not living up to it, you always have a place on this channel. Take it or leave it. And so any other person that comes in there, they can come and hear their views and everything. But you always have a place on this channel, and be in control and everything. So again, I would like to thank you. Your I value your viewpoints, and like I said, next week Friday and Sunday, they're going to be interesting moments. So watch out for the topics and for what is going to happen next week Friday and Sunday. I'm also investing a lot of time, money on this, not for selfish reason, but like I said, I want to look back to the even if one is in diaspora, don't want to go home. It shouldn't be reason that, oh, home is not worth going. No, it should be just reason that, listen, I'm tired of traveling. I don't want to travel, this and that. But we need to make our country an enticing place for people, for us to want to go to, where we can have electricity 24 hours. I can wake up, like I read a lot in the night. I mean, before I read a lot, and even now, I had to stop reading in the night because it affects my sleeping pattern. So, but where there is no light, how would you be able to read in the wake up in the night? Even to do things becomes very, very difficult. As I bring the broadcast to an end today, once again, I would like to thank you. I'll thank my volunteer in the back room who always tell me if something is going wrong on with what I put out there, and I have to correct it. So that is why the person doesn't talk. Not that the person doesn't want to talk or whatever it is. It's just there in the back room doing some work for me. I appreciate you, and God bless you. I'll see you again on Friday and on Sunday, God willing. Goodbye.